chance of changing my lifestyle considerably without it costing me. I can afford. Most people in developed countries live like this. Here's another comment. You know, what happened this morning is when I was reading this, there were hundreds of comments, and now that they printed it when I got to the office, and there's actually a few here supporting it now. Oh, because it's saying this comment's been removed by moderator. See, what happened is I was at my, here's a little conspiracy right here. I was at my house reading comment after comment, everyone saying, you're a Nazi, you want Malthusian eugenics, and now they're just removing it all because we printed this once I got to the office. Isn't that amazing? I said, print those off so I can read them, and now they're removed by the moderator. Says, does the mobile organ bank come with a laugh track? Because that's what they have in China. They have mobile execution vans. Oh, the reporter won't believe that. Google mobile execution vans in China. I want to show him those. Does the mobile organ bank come with a track, a laugh track? I'll check back later. I'm just on my way to pick up a few steaks and a half gallon of milk for the supper and maybe a block of nice cheddar cheese. This article made me hungry. And see, that's because it's all over the news now that we shouldn't be able to eat meat and cheese. It has a big carbon footprint because the flatulence of cows is going to kill the universe. I'm a vegetarian. These bloody lunatic AGWs are making me think about taking up meat eating after 20 years of abstinence. And again, more moderator removed. The comments I was reading have been removed. Lies, lies, and man-made climate change. The statist left who would steal our liberties and hysterically with his nonsense. How can anyone believe them anymore? Their lies would not make good science fiction. Would even make good science fiction. Kill all our pets because they eat, breathe, and poop. Actually, they're calling for taxes on all dogs. Did you find the mobile execution vans? So I want to show him Times of London, Associated Press. Oh, that's USA Today. China makes ultimate punishment mobile. Continuing. Staples are over this. Let me pull it off so I can read it. Others say we should look to population control. A few suggest wars of genocide. Many, many others would prefer to pretend that numbers do not mean anything and we should just carry on. Tim Lang isn't the first to suggest we should tighten our belts. My priority this year is to secure some land so I can grow my own veggies. Oh, they're trying to restrict that under these laws. I already have seed, so there's somebody that likes it. And Henry Kissinger calls for wars, stage wars and famine and State Department Memorandum 200. And you can go through these comments. When I read this morning, there wasn't one comment in support. Now there are a few here, and moderators removed the people as fast as they can. This is unbelievable. Chinese-style one-child policy. So we have gone from saying the Chinese are bad with forced abortion and infanticide and imprisoning people that have more than one child to, oh, yes, we've got to have it. In China that owns the majority of our debt, they're saying that we have to have one-child policies in the West. And, of course, inside of the Copenhagen Global Government Treaty, they say that the third world has to make right at double the cuts the West does when they're right at subsistence level because the evil humans are exhaling carbon dioxide. 15+ million people starved to death, an additional 10 million starved to death in 2008 because of ethanol, 1/3 of U.S., Brazilian, and other food production being taken out to grow corn and other things that are turned into ethanol for cars. Just absolute bull. Here's George Soros, KeyPrisonPlanet.com article. Climate colonialism. Soros wants poorer nations to take on green debt. That's what's in the new treaty. Suggest more crippling IMF loans to third world in the name of saving the planet. Billionaire George Soros has suggested that poorer nations be persuaded to take on what he describes as green loans in the name of combating climate change, a policy that would land the already crippled poor third world with even more debt payable to globalist institutions such as the IMF. Speaking yesterday at the Climate Change Summit in Copenhagen, the financier, so that $100 billion should be provided in loans to poorer nations to help slowing global warming, loans taken from the West in carbon tax. The proposal would entail third world countries paying back interest to governments of the richer nations to stem a perceived crisis that they had little or no direct involvement in manufacturing. Soros said the loans could be backed by special drawing rights, a synthetic international currency issued by the International Monetary Fund. And that's the new global currency. You understand? A private IMF World Bank consortium will tax you and set up a world transportation authority to tax aircraft, ships, law of the sea treaty, Times of London today. 400 years of freedom on the seas are over. You watch the video on the site. They're saying they're going to restrict you eating meat. It gets worse, though. Here's the Wall Street Journal today. I pledge allegiance to global warming. British scientists caught faking science data and hiding the decline sign a government loyalty oath. They've gone around saying you have to sign a government loyalty oath confirming that you believe climate change is man-made. The Met Office, Britain's National Weather Service, has embarked on an urgent exercise to bolster the reputation of the climate change science in the wake of the whistleblower revelation of widespread misconduct by climate scientists, the London Times reports. More than 1,700 scientists have agreed to sign a statement defending the professional integrity of global warming research. They are responding to a round-robin request by the Met Office, which has spent 4 days collecting signatures. One scientist told the Times he felt under pressure to sign. The Met Office, and a major employer of scientists, has long had a policy of only appointing and working with those who subscribe to their views on man-made global warming. Yeah, you can't get a climate grant from government or big corporations or big oil. They're the main ones funding this fraud when the media says they're actually against it. The concept of scientists or journalists or artists signing a petition is ludicrous. The idea that they are lending their authority to whatever cause the petition represents. But in fact, they're undermining the authority, which is based on the presumption that they think for themselves. Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. And it just goes on and on and on. In fact, here are the deleted comments. I actually did print some of these at my house this morning. And it goes on to say, you make me ashamed of living in Canada. This is to the National Post. If you're firstborn, it's too bad your mother had you. If you're not, she would have started with you. You are a heartless, dirty woman, and a shame on you. Ask the Chinese people who fled their country and came to Canada and the U.S. exactly where they are here. Hang your head in shame. This is Malthusian junk science, is still proposed from time to time, speaks of the fact that some in academia just refuse to learn from empirical evidence. And now it's slipped into journalism. The management of the Financial Post should be quite embarrassed. I just stick to the Wall Street Journal and do not bother coming back here anymore. An editorial board that thinks this is worthy of publication couldn't possibly know how to edit a newspaper or website. Those who believe in global warming, one child may be a solution. Here in Iowa, USA, you may find a lot of folks who believe in global cooling. For us in the USA, it would be the opposite. We need as many babies as possible to grow up and work to pay for the rapidly disappearing Social Security and Medicare system. See, I am some of the first comments I saw to Paul Watson to put in an article, and then they removed them off the newspaper. Here's some more. I knew it. According to Wikipedia, Miss Francis is married with 2 children. Typical liberal. They're not liberal, folks. They're eugenicists. Telling others how to live while not doing it yourself. It's like Ted Turner has 5 kids but says you shouldn't be able to have any. Or paying for it either. Audit this fool. This reporter is a complete nut job. I can't believe anyone in North American country would actually believe in this as a legitimate idea. And by the way, China's policy has had major consequences. Many girl babies were aborted and killed. And due to the scarcity of Chinese women, Chinese men are paying through the nose to obtain bribes. Therefore, lives are unfulfilled, and the Chinese population decreases much further than any they ever desired. Who does this person think she is? Why doesn't she do everyone a favor and start thinning the herd by killing herself? It's hard to believe that this opinionated rant is called journalism. I saw no evidence of journalistic balance, fairness, or objectivity. She made no mention of the grave problems caused by the one-child policy in China, including forced abortions, sterilizations, heavy fines, disparate sex ratio, infanticide on females, increased in mental health problems, including Chinese women's suicide rates. Thank God I saved those before they went down the memory hole.